what's it like balancing going across the world to all these events as an osteopath and then having a suitable family life at home? Obviously, the more and more you've done this over time.
It's really hard. Really hard. You know, the 3.5 weeks you're in Rio, I was in Rio. I think I got to about week 2.
Yeah.
And I was not in a good place. You know, I was really missing home, really missing my kids, my wife.
Yeah.
You know, that support network and you know, the FOMO, massive FOMO. You know, fear of missing out on what the kids are doing. You know, loads of stuff. And you know, and it plays on you, you know, then obviously everybody's upset. When you call up, you know, they're upset, you're upset. Sometimes, you know, things can be mistranslated over text. And,
I get it.
You know,
Yes.
all of these little holes everybody falls into that amplified 1,000 times because you're around people that they aren't your family.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, by the end of it, you know, like, you know, I made some lifelong friends, but I also got rid of some people that were toxic.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So you know, I'm very much, you know, I'm very much like, you know, if you don't add to my
value,
if you don't add to my picture of life, and if I find
if you're not filling up my cup, if you're taking out my cup all the time, then off, isn't it?
But also, I think more than that, it's like, you know, the way that people can sometimes taint the picture that you have of the world.
Yeah.
And their energy kind of just doesn't align with yours.
Oh, the dookie people who just put you in a bad state, man.
Yeah.
Ruin your day. You're just like, why are you going to be so negative, man?
We've all got that uncle, we've all got that auntie, we've all got that cousin that you speak to. Within 30 seconds, you feel like shit. Oh man, what the fuck am I doing?
Victim mentality, just the world's against me, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not that way inclined, and I'm not. You know, I thank my guru every morning when I wake up for taking the first breath. You know, so for me, I started a winner. I wake up, I started a winner, and my day can only get better. So I just even with the most massive stress and stuff like that, I just find that you know, I just can't. And some of these people were very toxic. Some people were outwardly trying to break up relationships and stuff like that, just because that was their nature. And they were called out, and we fired them. And you know, there was
this is in again when you hopped off. But I was just saying that from an outside perspective, you know, we see what we see on TV, but we don't see this type of stuff, you know, behind the scenes stuff. And again, you know, your primary outcome, I presume all the medical staff and all the people that work with you is performance, right? From the athletes. But all these like hidden agendas that you're talking about, like you said there, so somebody who's trying to break up another relationship, not for any other reason than that's in their nature.
Just simply to cause the masha, or just to cause
I mean, the psychology of it, like, you know, there's even coaches that, you know, when they see that there's a competition, when they see that one of the athletes could potentially beat their athlete, there's little silly things they'll do, you know, move a hurdle, you know, a couple of inches too close.
Oh wow, that is super petty.
God.
Yeah, I've seen loads happen, and I'm look Appa Senga, right?
Yeah.
And I take that serious, man. You see something wrong going on like that, you go one to
you cut that out straight away.
Yeah, Kunda comes out straight away with me. Straight away. Appa, you know, we're
talking about a real Kunda, or you mean like the spiritual Kunda?
The metaphorical Kunda.
Spiritual Kunda, man. Your heart, man. Like, comes out, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's a level playing field for everybody. We have ekta, we have oneness. Everybody is equal, right?
Yeah.
And so anybody who doesn't have that in their psyche, and there are psychopaths walking these streets. There's psychopath coaching people, clinical, but have never been diagnosed, right? These people exist, so don't ever think that these people aren't. There's, you know, just because you wouldn't lie to somebody and do something to hurt somebody
doesn't mean other people are going to do the same thing.
Mean other people are like that. Yeah. So, and I'm very loyal and I'm very caring. I'm empathetic with the way that I am. So if I see somebody that's there actively trying to harm the group or people within it, I'll call it out straight away. There's no fear there. You straight away it's called out. Right. And so there's loads of little layers in sport. It's mad, and it's crazy how, like, when you look at medical departments, you've got these very senior physios and doctors at the top who mate, they don't want somebody to come and take their job. right?
Oh,
They want
God, that's horrible, man. So they want to keep the power all to themselves.
They want to keep the power, and they've got the ear of the gaffer, and they don't want anybody to come and upset him. Even if the guy is like hasn't got the greatest clinical skill, they still want to take the job. And on a level, I get that. Everybody's got to feed their kids, right? So I get it. But if your job entails clinical practice and you are not doing the best
of your game
clinical practice, then you need to be called, man. It may not be your calling to be a physio or an osteo or a chiro.
No, of course not.
And with that in particular, so who is that decision maker that will actually look at who's the compliance person, within a team like yours that's actually looking at, and that kind of outline, we have appraisals and you've got to make sure that you're up to a certain skill base. And obviously for you guys, result oriented, I presume, like if you don't get results, then so who is that type of
so you have the head physio, then you'll have the chief medical officer, then you'll have head of medical services.
Right, and these guys are also horizontal? Or?
These guys are all horizontal. They can't talk to each other. The CMO is always seen as the top guy, the chief medical officer. He's always seen. But I think that hierarchical system is based upon a hospital setting. And I think that physio and doctors within hospitals have historically been like that. But I know some physios that are clinically way better than any doctor I've met.
And right? I will echo that, man. I work in neurophysios. I've had just this last week, I've had a young lady with multiple sclerosis. I've had another guy who's ataxic. I've had another person with a stroke.
Yeah.
And actually, where I work, I've got a lot of doctors are coming in from India, Pakistan, right? So we've got a lot of holes in our system, right? And from where these guys come, it is paternalistic medicine. It is very traditional, and there is resistant doctors at the top. I said, look, what you need to learn here is the power of leverage, right? Understand your skill set and hone down on what you are very good at. So, for example, I'm very good at managing teams. Very good, right? And I can put people together and that kind of thing. And if my physio has the knowledge, so George is one of my neurophysios, Spanish guy, lovely guy. And I say, George, what do you think about this? Can you assess, the levels? What do you think about the power here? This is what I think. I think he's got sensory level here. What do you think? And once you have that synergy and you have that connection, he's going to deliver, man. Like he'll come to me on the ward. There's respect. That's the thing, respect. And there's what's the word? Reciprocation. That's the word. And he'll be like, Jazz, are there any patients you want me to see? Or he'll come back to me and say, this is what I think we should do. And then I said to my doctor, look, I don't have to then chase after him. And there's no I have to go and read the notes. He'll personally come and tell me, and I'll personally go and tell him. It's about respect. Once you have respect, working just becomes easy. So I absolutely agree with you. This hierarchy needs to go. Absolutely needs to go. And I'm happy to say that the UK guys coming through now, it's more of their mindset. Even with consultants, man, it's like COVID was the best for this, man. And when I wrote some stuff during COVID, and I was just saying how because of the pressure and because you had redistribution, there were surgical consultants who were needed basically medically, right? And what that meant was I had an obs and gynae consultant pool house, so obstetrics and gynecology, 25 years in the game, up on our guy. I think his name is Dr. Mr. Baines. And basically he was with me and he was like, Jazz, look, I haven't managed general medicine 25 years. And we had this patient who had high blood sugar, so hyperglycemia, went into a medical emergency called DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis. And he's like, Jazz, you need to teach me, man. I was like, yeah, bring up a chair, man. And then I was teaching him on one side.
That's
he's 30 years older than me. I had a medical student who was acting up as a doctor now because we didn't have enough. And I was in the middle. It was weird for me because I'd left medicine tonight to come back in. So I was rusty as well. So I was the senior most medical guy with these two people.
You're not selling the NHS to me, Goran. You're making it sound like it's proper fucked up.
Nay. Listen. But we banded together. There was no hierarchy. The nurses, everyone. We were doing, I wouldn't say we were doing Simran together, but in the mornings, basically, we get in a room together. We were doing affirmations together. We were doing all our mindfulness together, and we were one unit, man. There's definitely ekta in that. And now, beyond COVID, it's we've carried that on, especially in my unit. So absolutely, I love that.
I 100% agree with you, buddy. 100%. And I think there is this change happening, and I can see it happening, and I think that it can only be a positive change. It can only be the recognition of people for myself, so osteopaths themselves to be there are osteopaths working in the NHS now in London, and so people are seeing it as a clinically
recognized
effective tool for use.
Good.
So we know when we're good, we know what we're good at, and that's why I said to the doctors, I just said, look, just send me the MSK, the stuff that you don't like, and then I'll filter it and send you back what I think needs to go for an MRI, or may need some bloods because this doesn't look very good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we can do all of that, and we'll take that load off because that's what our specialty is.
What does MSK stand for again?
Musculoskeletal.
Oh, nice. Okay, I would never have guessed that. I'd have been like, God knows.
Medical lingo is like a different is a whole language.
It is a different language, and I've got to be the one to ask because otherwise you guys can fall into it, right?
Yeah,
so.